So we are back out here today. Harper, what are we doing? Taking the wheels off the golf cart. As I told y'all, I'd show y'all whenever we got some tires in. So this is what we bought. And man, I'm stoked. So these are the new ones. They are a 21 by 7 by 8. I didn't want a fat wide one. My style overall in life with mud tires is I like skinny. I don't like stuff fat, poking out, wide, low profile. So this being so wide versus tall, to me is ugly. I'd rather have tall and narrow. It's my opinion. So that's what we had. This is what we are going with. Let's get these swapped over on the bead, get them on the golf cart, see if they clear. If they don't, we're going to build a lift kit and then see how they look. I'm freaking stoked about this, man. All right, so there she is. Boy, I don't even know how much I'm gonna show y'all at a time lapse. That thing was a freaking monster, dude, to get on. She definitely blew out and got fatter looking now that it's on there, but still, it's a good looking tire setup. Like it's not too fat and bubbly looking. I don't know. I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy with it. I wish it was skinnier. You know, I don't like seeing the sidewalls. You can barely see them, but I don't know. I don't like the roundness. I like it to be tall, skinny, and square. But I knew that probably was not going to happen with a golf cart tire on factory wheels. So, but yeah. So now I know everybody's gonna be like, "Man, dude, put the freaking screwdrivers down and get you some tire spoons." I've got tire spoons, okay? And as you can tell, they are freaking used. I put 22 5s on with these things on my truck, along with some sledgehammers. The problem was when I time-lapsed this a couple of hours ago, I wasn't at the shop and I hadn't went to the shop. These are at the shop. So I used screwdrivers. And it's pretty cool that I did it with screwdrivers to show everybody that if you have just screwdrivers at your house and you're just an average Joe and you don't have tire spoons, you can get these from Harbor Freight for cheap, by the way, that they can be done with just screwdrivers and the good old ratchet strap trick. Now, these things were a nightmare to get them. They were like in like this, the bead, to get them to open up. To seat, absolute nightmare. You can see I fought with it a lot. Everybody was probably cringing, like, do this, do that, do this. I used to do this. I always do that. Like, yeah, that's cool. I know how to put tires on too. I'm not a tire guy. I'm not a genius. Maybe you have a better trick. And yes, everybody can use the good old hit it with starter fluid and explode it onto the beads. I don't like that. I don't like explosions. I don't like blowing stuff up. So you're never going to see me throw starter fluid in it and blow it up. But that's a good, fast, easy way to do it. And if you don't know how to do that trick, you can Google or YouTube probably installing tire with starter fluid, and you'll probably find tons of videos. That's a pretty good trick. I just don't like it. I am a favor of putting the ratchet strap around the center of the tire to blow out the beads. But even then, it was still challenging with these, since the rims were so wide and the tires came so narrow. But I got it done. I'm going to get one on the golf cart. And then I just got 3 more to go. I don't know if I'm going to get them tonight. I filmed that earlier today, this afternoon, about, 3 o'clock. It is now 7 o'clock, and I have to be at the shop at 7:45 tonight to meet Randy. We are doing something with his car, and I will be filming. So, yeah, work. Not a lot of play. But I'm going to stick this one on and see what it looks like. So here's what it looks like. I know it's going to be hard to see in the garage at night, and I'll show you better tomorrow. But there's what it looks like without the center cap on. So not bad. Has a nice, decent tuck. You know, when you're up here It looks good from up here at this angle. And it hangs pretty decently flush, you know, with the side. It looks good. It's not bad at all. Versus these little guys. So you can tell the difference. There's one side, and it is sat completely on the ground. The jack is not on it. So there's that side, and then here's this side. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm excited to get the front on and see if it clears, because I'm not gonna need a lift on the back, and that's amazing because I love not having to lift this thing. But keep rocking and rolling. So the tire spoons ain't helping at all. I don't know if it's because they're so fat, and this is just a little golf cart tire, so there's not enough play. I put 22.5s on my truck with these tire irons, and I swear I feel like I struggle less than I struggle with these little wheels. It probably is also rough because they're so small, so trying to fight with them. But one thing I always do is I put a little bit of soap around there. That way when you start prying down on it, it runs down in the bead and lubricates the bead so it slips off, versus you just trying to pry on it with a dry rubber or metal. That's never gonna go good. So make sure you put a little soap and water. I use a spray bottle, but what I did on this one is actually I just took the soap and poured it around the bead and then hit it with a little bit of water. That way it will help push it in there as soon as you crack it open. And then I tried to take the bead off with the tire spoons on the last one, but that just didn't go well either. It was just more fighting and awkwardness than anything. So it seems like it's a mixture of mostly screwdrivers on these. Like a bicycle tire, you wouldn't use tire spoons, but on these little things, it seems like screwdrivers are about the best trick if you're going to do it at your house. But it's nice to have some tire spoons. They did help in a few situations, but it seems like these are going to be your best friend for the most part. All right, Harper, what we got going on? So there's a comparison, this tire on this side before I go snatch the other one off, and there's the old rinky-dink one. Absolutely terrible. But you can see a big difference. So definitely glad we went with these tires and didn't change the rims up and get some wide, low-profile wheels that stick out. So definitely got to work on the alignment once I get it all down. Just got one more to go, swap that one out, and then move on to the alignment. Probably see me hammering with a screwdriver, taking a screwdriver and putting it in the bead like that and hammering on it. Don't do that ever on a good tire, because you can take it and it will stab through your bead and destroy your tire. One spot it actually went through. I was actually prefer this one. It's got a broken tip on the end of it, so it will get a good point right there. Right there on the bead, that's where you want to get the thing in there and beat it down. It's a combination of a bunch of stuff. Earlier I was using my tire spoon and get it in there like that, okay? And then hammer on it. Problem with that is then you flatten out one of your tips, which, I mean, you can take the grinder and smooth that back out. It's not a big deal. But it works better if you have some old piece of crap screwdriver that you can hammer on it, because these beads are just tough, man. So if you're doing it yourself at the house, you just kind of have to do a combination, like I said, of hammers, screwdrivers, tire spoons. I mean, some might come off easier than others, but these old things right here, oh my God, they have whooped my tail. So now all I gotta do, got the bead broke on both sides, just have to actually get it off the rim now. So another thing you have to pay attention to is make sure that your wheel is facing the right way the way it's going to go on a golf cart if you have a tire tread that goes in only one direction. If you mess that up and get that backwards, you're going to hate your life because you're going to take the tire back off and redo everything all over. So all I do is sit my wheel. This is the outside. That's the inside. So I sit it exactly like it would be on the golf cart. The golf cart would be here. This would be the driver front. And then I sit my tire just like it needs to be. This is the direction it needs to be. You put on the back side of the tire first over the face of the wheel. So take your wheel, that's the face. This is the back side. So we're gonna flip this down and then we will soap up this side first. And that will help you keep everything sorted out because you're only soaping one side. And then you know all you do is take it and flip it over like that. And now you can put it on. That's the way it goes. It's got to go on like that. When you're putting the tire also on, you want to put the side on opposite of the valve stem because your valve stem takes up room. So your bead, how it goes on is your bead goes all the way down to here, and that moves it so that basically, let's see here, if your bead was up there, see that moves it so that can walk around, and that's how you're doing it because obviously the bead is smaller than the outside, the diameter of the rim. So you don't want to start by putting that side on with the valve stem because then your valve stem is going to weigh. So you always want to start 180 from your valve stem. So we're going to get this side on, let's see here, first, right here, and then we're going to walk it like that so that that's the last part to slip over where the valve stem's at. All right, and to clean up these hubcaps, somebody has spray painted them with chrome spray paint. Never use chrome spray paint if you can help it because it always looks cheesy. Go to your local parts store and get some actual wheel coating or wheel paint. And this is going to make it look more like a factory wheel. So it should come out a little bit closer like this with the metallic gray. Chrome spray paint will never look good. I know it sounds good, but it's probably never gonna look like you want it to look. You'll get a much more professional look by just staying away from that stuff and going with something like this. Here's how the golf cart turned out on the tires. That's how it looks. Harper approved. We went for a cruise on it. It's got the traditional super swamper sound to it when you're going down the road, but I'm very happy. Glad I chose these instead of some different ones. So good change. I think it turned out good, perfect, clean, not too much money, didn't get too crazy. You can see the purple hitting this morning in the sun. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Thanks, y'all.